All right, we are live on YouTube. Welcome, everyone. Hi, everyone. I'm June Bea, CEO of Bea Group, and I wanted to welcome all of you to our first live stream. Okay, so this is our Sorry, that was me just turning off. It plays live. So this is part of the issues I'm learning about going live. So thanks everyone. I had to pause it went live on my own computer. So I was hearing myself twice. So thanks. And I wanted to welcome all of you to our first showcase with our interns. So they are all high schoolers from the Downey Unified School District. Downey's been a partner with Bea Group for over 6 years. This is our sixth paid internship. This is our second year doing a virtual internship. And we're so happy that they're live streaming what they gained from doing their experience with us. It's a 6-week program. We have deep dive leads. Today, our first one is with Dr. Addison Zhang, and she has been the lead on this. And I just wanted to welcome everyone, and we're going to get started in a moment. We will be having guests from the district who will be chiming in. And this was really made possible from grant funding from the California Department of Education, from the California Community College Chancellor's Office. And this is something where this is our first time doing this live. And so I wanted to welcome Dr. who's been our deep dive lead for digital marketing. And we have a number of interns who will be sharing their showcase of what they did this summer. So welcome, Dr. It's good to see you.
Hey, June, thank you so much for the introduction. And I'm so honored to be a part of this program. And thank you so much, everyone, for watching us live or watching us on replay. And as you mentioned, my name is Dr. I'm the lead for our digital marketing interns. So over the course of 6 weeks, we did a number of things. And I coached the interns create a professional online presence. Everyone started working on their LinkedIn. And we also learned content creation and the differences between academic writing versus creating content for online media. And the biggest task that everybody did was really pushing themselves outside their comfort zone by interviewing a professional in the industry, unlike the traditional face-to-face interviews. So all the interns did their interviews through a live streaming platform like what we're doing today. So I'm really excited to invite them on stage to share with everyone what they have learned over the course of only 6 weeks. So without any further ado, I want to first invite Nayeli to come to the stage. If you have any questions, that we ask you to hold off your questions until the end after the break. So you can ask questions and we're going to do a Q&A. Meanwhile, if you have any immediate questions, please engage with us on our YouTube channel and asking and leaving your questions or comments. Give our interns some hearts and share this interview on your own social media platforms so that other people can check us out, can check out Bea Group and what our amazing interns are doing. So Nayeli, I want to welcome you to stage.
Thank you, Dr. Yes, I'm going to share my screen now. Just wait for it to load here. Well, as Dr. said, my name is Nayeli Hernandez. I am an incoming senior at Warren High School this year, and my deep dive was digital marketing. So this summer, I got the opportunity to work with an amazing group, not only Dr. herself, who was such an inspirational person, but my peers who were also in the deep dive of digital marketing. We learned so much through this deep dive, and I am so grateful to have had this opportunity. One of them being, we were able to go on one of Dr. I's live streams. It was so inspiring to be on something. It's one thing to learn about something, but it's another to actually go beyond and be a part of it. So for Dr. giving us that opportunity, thank you so much. in this live stream, we discussed so many things that I honestly hadn't really put my mind to at the time. And it was really great to hear my peers' opinions on these things. Not only did we do that live stream, but I was also given the opportunity to do my own live stream. This is something I had considered in the past, but never really felt the encouragement to do it until Dr. I really told us that if you're not doing something that makes you nervous, then you're not doing something right. You really have to push your limits and step out of your comfort zone to make sure that you are being the best you that you can be. So I had the opportunity to interview attorney Chris Hickok, which is my intended industry to go into. I would like to be a criminal justice attorney. So it was a really great opportunity. And not only from going into this interview itself, but in that interview, I learned a lot about what it means to go through college and maybe not getting into your first choice. So if you have the free time, please feel free to watch my video. Now to move on to LinkedIn. This is originally where I found my person to interview, so I'm very grateful for this website. We learned so much about it. I didn't even know what it was. I'm not very much a social media person, so these before pictures are pretty brutal. There's almost nothing there. And it wasn't until Dr. I worked her magic. I don't know if you can click. Yes. See, the back isn't, there's nothing really there. You can barely tell who I am. But after learning about what Dr. I introduced us to, I was able to have a much fuller profile. Once again, these were the before pictures, just up close, and the after. I think you can see the difference. I noticed the difference, and it was crazy because at first there was no one. I had no connections. I didn't know really much about how to work LinkedIn or what were the benefits. But after going on LinkedIn and meeting attorney Chris Hickok, I was open to so many more opportunities. I was able to make a lot more connections from people in my intended industry or from the college I hope to go to. So for major takeaways, I think the main one, as Dr. I herself said, was really pushing yourself to those limits and going above and beyond. But I also learned how to manage social media in a more professional sense, you know, being more of a creator than a consumer. And I think I'm very much so grateful for having had this opportunity. Once again, my name is Nayeli Hernandez. Thank you for listening to my presentation. I will now pass you guys on to my colleague, Tom.
Good morning, everyone. I'll share my screen right now. So my name is Tal, and I'm an incoming senior at Downey High School, and I wanted to do this digital marketing deep dive because I wanted to learn how to use social media as more of a tool, as a creator more than a consumer, as Nayeli said. And in this internship, I had the opportunity to work with the amazing Dr. I. She is the CEO of a company called Classroom Without Walls. She also has a YouTube channel if you guys want to check it out and subscribe. This company seeks to promote learning outside of the classroom, and thus she has taught us a multitude of things. One thing that she taught us was how to create an optimized LinkedIn profile. Similar to Nayeli, my LinkedIn profile was very bland. There was literally nothing on there. Like there's no cover picture, no about me section, no featured section. Basically very, very boring and bland. And after Dr. I taught us about LinkedIn, as you can see, there's a clear difference. There's a lot more items on this profile than the before pictures. Like with the cover picture, this little small summary of who I am, as well as a featured section, which actually had the chance to interview a physician based in Chicago. Her name is Dr. Wonice Jasmine. And yeah, this is basically a much improved LinkedIn profile from the before pictures. We also had the chance to work on a project that involved interviewing a professional with like live. And my first experience going live was actually with Dr. I. On her YouTube channel. We discussed, I believe, not the flaws, but things that the education system could improve on, as well as using social media as a tool to promote learning. And I had the opportunity to interview two people, one of which was Dr. Jasmine, and the other is Matt Howie, who is an up and coming singer-songwriter. And these are two industries that I'm actually very interested in and might pursue in the future. Some major key concepts and skills that I learned from this internship are the term social proof, which is basically it basically means that you need evidence in order to back up what you claim that you can do on social media. Like let's say you say that you have experience in creating a more professional LinkedIn, and to show this, you would have like a more professional LinkedIn profile. And I also learned interviewing and live streaming skills through the projects that we did for Dr. I with the live streaming interviews, and as well as social networking. Funny story, actually, we were supposed to reach out to career professionals on LinkedIn, and I actually reached the max limit for people I could search up on LinkedIn. So I couldn't really reach out to too much people on LinkedIn, which is why I turned to Instagram as my social networking platform. And overall, I think this experience was really good. And I'd like to thank June and Bayou Group, as well as Dr. I and Angela, for making this opportunity possible, and just overall giving us an opportunity for this amazing internship. Thank you. And I'd like to now turn it to Jasmine.
Hi, Tom. I'm actually going to interrupt you for a second. I wanted to introduce John Harris. John is here from Downey Unified School District. So John, are you at a place where you can say hello to everyone? We are live, and just wanted to thank you for this amazing opportunity. Collaborating with you and the district has been such a dream come true for me personally. So I wanted to just see if you wanted to say a few words, and also your role at the district, and just, yes, welcome folks.
Yeah, well, hello and good morning. We're so happy that we've been able to work with the BEA group and all of our deep dive leaders in this internship during the summer. I think it has a really well formulated structure for an experienced 11th graders going into their 12th grade year can experience some new learning opportunities here. So my role at the district is Director of College and Career Readiness. We've really tried to get away from the conversation of who's going to college and who's not, and pursue this question of what do you want to do with regard to a career moving forward, and then identifying all of those different experiences that you need to have a competitive edge going into the workforce. And so with that, we think that Work Wonder plays a really significant role in challenging students to think beyond what their experiences have been before, in direct connection to the kinds of skill sets that you'll need in working in a career and in the workplace. So congratulations to all of you in the projects that you have put together, and looking forward to all of the presentations. I have, when I've been asked about some of these deep dives, I have half joking and half not joking, I said, well, I think I'll understand the deep dive a lot better after the students explain it to me. So I'm looking forward to all of your experiences and that come as a result of your work with each of your deep dive leaders. Congratulations on the completion of your projects.
Thanks, John. Thanks, Jasmine. You're next, I believe. So, yes.
Yes. Okay. Hi, everyone. Let me just share my screen real quick. Okay. Okay. Just let it load a little bit. Or, okay. Let me just click that better. Okay. Hi, everyone. My name is Jasmine Estrada, and I had the pleasure to work with Dr. I this past summer for the digital marketing deep dive. And over the past few weeks, we've learned so much with a big focus on content creation. So I'm going to try to summarize my entire internship by these 3 points. So I'll be focusing on LinkedIn, how I was able to step out of my comfort zone, and just my overall experience during this internship. Okay, so to start off this deep dive, we created a LinkedIn account, and I personally knew absolutely nothing about LinkedIn before this internship. So as you can see, it was very plain. I didn't have a single connection. I didn't have a headline. Nobody would be impressed. So I basically had no presence online. But now here is what it looks like. I created a bio that actually shows who I am. I actually created my own little headline using Canva. And before this internship, I just used Canva to make flyers. So Dr. I introduced a whole new way I can use Canva. And yeah, so here it is. And as well, I also added in my feature section where I posted a minimized version of my resume, as well as my first live interview with a professional in digital marketing. And this part of LinkedIn was very important to have because as Dr. I always says, we live in a show me economy. So you can't just say you're good at something, you actually have to give an example. And yeah, so I also added my education, my experience, awards I've received, and even skills that I have. So yeah, I'm really proud of this LinkedIn account. Okay, so now I remember at the start of the deep dive, Dr. I emphasized that we need to be willing to get out of our comfort zone. And in all honesty, I was not looking forward to this, but I've learned that these types of projects are really have the best results. So our deep dive was assigned to interview someone in our ideal profession. And so Dr. I taught us how to send a professional email and as well as our own email signature. And looking back on this project, I think I sent about 15 to 20 emails to strangers in the field that I was looking to be a part of. And I got a lot of rejections and a lot of ignores. And honestly, it was all part of the process. And it just made me more excited to interview someone. And if you actually want to see this interview, I actually have it on my LinkedIn account. So if you guys want to go check that out. And yeah, I wrapped it up really quickly, but so basically that wraps everything up. There's so much I've learned over these past few weeks. And if you guys want to hear more about my deep dive or have any questions for me, please feel free to email me even. I would love to talk to you guys more. And thank you, Dr. I. I just want to have a special shout out to Dr. I because I learned so much in this deep dive. And yeah, I want to pass it on to Arseny Rivera now. Thank you.
Hello, so yes, my name is Adrian Rivera, and let me share my screen real quick. So my experience at the Bella Group internship so far has been amazing. I have learned a lot of things about digital marketing so far, how to connect with professionals on the internet, and how to properly convince them to help me. and simply attract their attention by showing them my profile and my content. In between, the things that I have learned is how to send professional emails so that people will reject me less when I would ask them to do something with me or for me, and how to create a professional email signature so people would know who I am. Across all the social media platforms with a special focus on LinkedIn, I have improved my profiles and my online presence overall so that people would see me as more trustworthy. I have shown them proof of who I actually am, which is something that all jobs recruiters and also colleges are looking for in order to know if you're a person that they are willing to work with and that they will be a good match with. This is an example of my LinkedIn profile at the beginning, which is clearly the LinkedIn profile of someone who simply created a profile just because it was something to do, because everybody had a LinkedIn profile. However, after this internship, I created a LinkedIn profile that is much stronger and has a big takeaway of social media, and it is that people are not forced to watch anything that you show them. If they watch it, it's because you convince them that what they're watching is a great use of their time. So instead of thinking that they're going to go into my sections of contact information and a section for who I am, I've mainly focused on the first impression of my LinkedIn profile and give them everything. I show them who I am, how to contact me, what I am interested in, and what I am good at. And obviously, the rest of the LinkedIn profile will show the proof. But this first impression is the most important part of everything. And compared to the beginning, we can see that right now I have 18 followers and 17 connections, when at the beginning I had nothing of that. People didn't even knew who I was. Now, part of these connections have been a great use because now I have met different interns in the LinkedIn, but also professionals in different industries such as entrepreneurship and informatics. An example of this would be Lance, who was the first person that I interviewed outside of the Bella Group internship. And we truly discussed a lot of things that most people don't know about on the trading world. He's a worldwide trading coach of physical items. And we discussed a lot about the risks that trading worldwide includes, and also how to start, because I think that everybody thinks that they want to start something. However, most of the times you don't even know where to start. So that's something that we went over. And I had a lot of my friends who watch my live stream come to me and say, hey, I really was interested in the trading of physical items, and now I think that I should rethink it because I've seen what it looks like. And others have been like, I saw that and now I think I'm all in for it because it's an amazing thing to do. So here is my live stream experiences. We went live with my deep dive lead, Dr. I, who is such a great inspiration, and we went together as a group for the first experience. Then I had the opportunity to interview her personally about her company, Classroom Without Walls, and becoming an entrepreneur. And here is my interview with Lance. As you can see, this is not a normal YouTube live. There is a cover picture that explains and catches the reader's attention about what I'm about to present, which is something very important, again, in social media, so that people will think that you are someone worthy of their time. My overall experience at Bella Group has been amazing. As I previously said, I have learned a lot of things, including writing on social media and catching people's attention on social media, which is something that I had never been interested before. And thanks to this opportunity, I became more interested in this whole entrepreneurial world. And I think that it is a great opportunity because as students get to see what careers they truly like with programs like Bella Group, I think that we will have in the future professionals that are not only talented at what they do because they went to college and studied it, but that are also passionate about what they do because they knew what they were going into, are going to be willing to go that extra mile every time because they love what they do. And with that, I'll pass it on to Jocelyn, who is the next intern going up.
Thank you, Archani. So hi, my name is Jasmine Hernandez. I'm an incoming senior at Warren High School. And just like all these other amazing interns before me, I have gotten the pleasure to work with Dr. I for digital marketing. So I'll share my screen. So this is my experience being a digital marketing intern. So for the past month, we have been working with Dr. I to learn how to professionally put ourselves on social media such as LinkedIn and even other places like Instagram and YouTube. So LinkedIn has given me the opportunity to be able to create networks and even connect with other people in my preferred career field, which would be to become a neonatologist. So I have gotten the amazing pleasure to be able to learn how LinkedIn works. So at the beginning of this internship, I didn't know anything about LinkedIn. As you can see right here from these before pictures, my LinkedIn profile is very sad and plain. This would be my name. I didn't really have much, but over this course, Dr. I has really taken the time to work with us, and she's been so patient, which we want to say thank you for helping us make our LinkedIn profile pictures look presentable and look professional. So now this is what my LinkedIn profile looks like. As you can see, I have a little about me section, what I am interested in, my high school expected graduation. When people come onto my profile, now they can see how to contact me and what I am aspiring to be. And one of the major projects that we did with Dr. I was learning how to live stream. So we actually did a first interview on live stream with Dr. I on her YouTube profile, which is right here. We talked about basically what schools do not teach you and what we would like to learn, as opposed to knowing more about how to professionally put yourself out there and learning how to create more networks. And I even got the amazing opportunity to do my own live stream with Robin Bowman, who is a Harvard genesis, and we got to talk about what she does on a daily basis, how she got to where she is now. So this is just the rest of my LinkedIn profile for now. So back to the live stream with Robin Bowman. I learned that it's okay to take a different path from what you initially had planned. So if you wanted to be, I don't know, like a painter, and it's okay to like be a doctor now, it's totally okay to take a different career path. She also taught me to keep pushing, to learn, and to continue to ask why, because that is the only way you're going to get answers to the questions that you are really excited to learn about, and to never give up on yourself, because you are your own, I guess you could say, #1 cheerleader. So no one is going to push you as much as you will push yourself. And also, if you would like to watch this interview with Robin, I have it on my LinkedIn profile. So if you ever want to connect with me, please look me up. So some major takeaways that I learned over this internship is that it's okay to have people reject you or even to not get back to you at all. For our live stream interview process that we did, where we had to interview someone in our preferred career field, I actually did reach out to a couple people, and some of them just never got back to me. I think it's really important to make sure that you learn and understand that it's nothing wrong with you. They just probably don't have the time, or it's something that they might just not be interested in, and that's okay. I am also now more comfortable and confident with doing a live stream interview with someone and answering questions like on the spot about what is being talked about. And also the last thing is that LinkedIn is one of the best and biggest places to create networks and find an internship or a job that you are really interested in. So for me personally, I have definitely been looking for other internships that would be in the medical field, because that's something that I am interested in. And I think that's about it for me. So I will pass it on to my colleague, Andrea.
Hi everyone, let me just share my screen. Hello everyone, my name is Andrea Flores and I'm going to be an incoming senior at Downey High School next year, and this was my experience as a digital marketing intern. This summer, I had the honor to work with Dr. I, and she is the CEO of Classroom Without Walls, where she teaches teenagers things that they typically wouldn't learn in school. And during this paid internship, I really learned the importance of social media and how to use it to my fullest potential, and how to take advantage, because I know social media is a huge influence in our now society. And Dr. I has taught me many vital skills that I know will help me in the future and with my career. So during this internship, Dr. I really introduced me to many different resources on how to professionally put myself out there, and a website that she introduced me to was LinkedIn, because prior to this internship, I had no idea what LinkedIn was. And as you can see here, my before profile was very bland. I had no picture, I was a beginner, and there was nothing really to see, nothing that would make people want to reach out to me. And as you could also see here, I had no engagement, no one was looking at my profile. So I was really just sort of a no one on LinkedIn. No one knew who I was. But after Dr. I coached us and trained us on how to improve our LinkedIn, this is my LinkedIn profile now. As you can see, it's way more appealing, it's more interesting. And I've also actually gained connections, because in the beginning I had none. And it makes it a lot more for people to want to reach out to me, and they know who I am and what I want to do in the future. And here you can see too that more people are looking at my profile, and I'm getting way more experience and more views, engagement. Another thing that I did during this internship was live streamed interviews, and I actually participated in two. Our first one was with Dr. I and all of the rest of the interns, and we got to be guests on her interview. And for my second one, it was my own live stream interview, where I interviewed a future aerospace engineer, Emily Brent, and it was a really nice experience. It was definitely nerve-wracking at first, but I think it really made me grow as a person, and it really took me out of my comfort zone. And it was really nice to get to talk to another woman who's in engineering and STEM, because I know that sometimes there's not that many that you feel you can reach out to. And it was a really great experience overall, with all the skills that Dr. I taught us, with how to interview, and I really enjoyed it, both the live streams. And overall, I've really learned so much during this live internship. And I learned so much that I would have never learned if I didn't take this internship. I learned how to professionally put myself out there. And I learned that this economy is really different than what it once was. Back then, it was a maybe tell me economy, but now you really have to show instead of tell. You have to really put yourself out there and showcase that all your skills in order to make people want to work with you. And I really stepped outside of my comfort zone during this internship. I really learned how to live stream and many skills that I would have never learned if I didn't take it. And I got to work with so many amazing people, and it was really inspiring to work with many people who had similar goals as I did. And I will now pass it on to Elliot. Thank you.
Thank you, Andrea. I will now share my screen. So my name is Elliot Kim. I am a incoming senior in Downey High School, and this is my experience with this Bay Group internship. So first off, as everyone before me has said, we've internshipped under Dr. I, CEO of Classroom Without Walls, and she is here to promote non-traditional teachings in environments outside the classroom. And this is something that she's constantly enforced throughout this internship. She emphasized the importance of society moving from a print-based economy to a digital one, where social media is the difference maker today. She taught us how to optimize LinkedIn profiles and to live stream content that we hoped to pursue, and many more. So this is my LinkedIn profile before everything. It's pretty empty. And I don't know what to say. It's just not attention grabbing. You just pass over it anytime. But now, since we filled it up, it's a lot more appealing and actually lets people view me. One of the activities that we did was searching ourselves on Google. And due to my unique name, where I think there's like less than 100 people in the world with it, I was able to show up on LinkedIn even before putting anything in the profile. But now it's a good way of getting myself out on the social media. Another thing that Dr. I has taught us is the signature, where interacting with professionals through emails, we just link it underneath and they can contact us anytime. I use this to interview Daniel Addison, Dr. I's husband, and he works at Sabre Systems as a data scientist. And we just talked about how the industry is very much data focused, and now we're just trying to use that data, collect it, and implement it in all aspects of society. Much of what I could take away from the interview and this internship was to pursue what is interesting to you and to take advantage of everything you can given to you at the time. And that innovation is constantly needed, and that starts with having a self-improving mindset where you take in ideas and you apply them to yourself and everything you do. And from a data standpoint and construction or anything that happens, quality components with a quality assembly line does not mean a quality product. You have other things to worry about within that to make sure you're the best you can be. And that's all I can say. I will now pass it over to Adrian.
Thank you. Okay, so hi, my name is Adrian Aranco. I'm an incoming senior at Warren High School, and this is my experience at the digital marketing internship. So first of all, I'd like to say a big thank you to Dr. I, who led this internship for us. She is the CEO of Classroom Without Walls, and Classroom Without Walls is a company that emphasizes on the non-traditional way of learning and actually putting students in real-world situations that will enrich their experiences in the future. So first of all, one of the things that Dr. I has taught us is the importance of LinkedIn, and this is my LinkedIn profile before. It's not very appealing at all. I mean, it's just very simple. It's just barren. And after this is my LinkedIn profile, I put in many aspects of my life that I value, and many things that such as like keywords for my my field that I want to go into, which is civil engineering and architecture. And I also put in extracurriculars that I'm involved in. And another very important part that Dr. I has showed us is the power of actually live streaming. Live streaming really does boost your internet credibility and your digital presence, and it's very good. So this is our first live stream that we did with Dr. I. She interviewed us on her own profile, which had a lot of viewers and which was really intimidating at first, but eventually it got really it was very confidence boosting, because you you feel heard and you feel noticed, and you want to put your best foot forward out there on the internet and to future employers, if anyone. And eventually this gave us enough confidence to even go out and do our own interview with a career expert. And I chose an architect from Milwaukee. His name is Sean Myers. He's very licensed and credible in architecture, and he's very good. He went to the University of Minnesota, and he taught us a lot about what it means to be an architect and how I can pursue it in the future. And some key takeaways I had about this internship was that Dr. I really did teach us about how digital marketing could really improve yourself and could really improve your digital footprint, and how LinkedIn and YouTube and Twitch and all these different streaming profiles could really emphasize how you can get a better job in the future, and how you can really get and land a good job, and how it can make you a better person online. So then I'll pass this on to my next intern, April.
Hello, everyone. I hope everyone's doing good. So I'll just go ahead and share my screen. Okay, I think you guys can see it now and hear me. So let me go ahead and press present. Okay, so behavior internship experience by me. So I was in the digital marketing deep dive, and my lead was the very talented Dr. Addison thing. And this is my deep dive, my team that I spent 6 weeks with. And while having the honor to be Dr. I's intern, I learned many professional skills that would make me more confident within myself and within my skills. Oops. Okay, so the first thing we learned on, oops, how do I take this off? Okay. First thing we learned about was how to create a LinkedIn profile. And to be really honest with everyone, I didn't really know what LinkedIn was. I didn't know it was a way to promote yourself and your skills. But then, so this is the beginning of it. I didn't know what to put on it. And as you can see, it's not very professional. It's not very grabbing, and it doesn't really show maybe what I want to do in the future or myself. And then later on, while working with Dr. I and the other interns, this is what it is now currently. So as you can see, I want to be a doctor when I grow up. So maybe this gives me the opportunity for a doctor to maybe give me an internship or something like that. And then you can see that I have skills in leadership and stuff like that. So after learning about LinkedIn and learning how to make the profile as best as can be, Dr. I gave us a new challenge, which was to interview a professional on live stream. So this was very scary for me, and I didn't really want to do it because I was like, I was really scared to just get out of my comfort zone and to mess up, right? So Dr. I would always tell us, even from the beginning, she said, when you step out of your comfort zone, that's where magic happens. And now every time that I'm scared to do something, I really just think about her quote. I really do. So now, this was the interview that I did, and this is the edit that I made for the cover, and then this is me in a registered nurse. So being in this deep dive really brought me to be more confident within myself, and it even inspired me to make my own podcast now, interviewing professionals in the medical field. And it's something that I'm actually going to start doing, and I'm messaging actually out doctors or anyone in the medical field that wants to do that. And I never thought I wanted to do that, so it's something that I want to do now because of this deep dive. And I'm just really thankful for this experience because it really made me more comfortable within myself, within what I want to do in the future. And I think it'll just, everyone that I told about, my friends were like kind of, they wish that they would have joined Vega Group or in the beginning of the year. So yeah, it was really amazing to be a part of this and be interning for Dr. I really learned a lot. So thank you so much. And then I'll pass it on to the next intern. Let me just go ahead and stop sharing, and I hope everyone has a great day.
Okay, seems like Vidal is now here. So should we take a break, Jun? What do you?
Yes, let's do that.
Do Q&A now, or
yeah, let's take a little break. just let's do 3 minutes. We're going to take a little break, stretch, and reorganize the rest of our interns. So Carmen, are you there to share the upcoming? So we're going to make a plug that we have additional live streams for other deep dives. So our next deep dive that we will be live streaming is about design thinking. That will happen at 11:30, and we have one about CRISPR, which will, so this is perfect timing. Our next one after is CRISPR, which is at 2 p.m. today. So please join us. We have 2 more showcases today that will be live streamed. So we're going to go ahead and just take a couple minute break, and we will be back. All right, we're back. So Carmen, if you could stop sharing, and we have Philip next. All right, Philip, are you
Hi,
ready?
June.
Hi.
Yes.
Great.
Let
Awesome.
me just get my screen. Okay. Okay. Hi everyone. My name is Philip Hernandez. And well, today, like everyone else, I'll be talking and sharing my experience here at the digital marketing deep dive here at ByHeart Group. But before I start, I actually want to say that before I actually did this internship, I was actually very camera shy. And the fact that I'm doing this presentation live in front of all these amazing people is very fascinating to me. So I actually wanted to share with you guys what really opened my eyes to digital marketing, because when I first went into this internship, I had no idea what to expect. But Dr. I had this like really amazing energy, and she actually shared with us that digital marketing and networking is a way to actually use your voice within social media to actually represent who you are and basically show to the outside world your accomplishments and what you have achieved. So given that we were working on our digital networking skills, we really emphasized on LinkedIn. So this is how my LinkedIn account first started. I had very few connects. I did have a picture and a cover picture, but that's because Dr. I had told us to do so beforehand. I didn't really take screenshots of my whole profile, but I could tell you that it was really blank. I really didn't have posts. My about section was basically blank. And so after working with Dr. I and connecting with others and actually working with my fellow interns actually helped me improve my LinkedIn profile. My LinkedIn went from looking to this to something even better like this, where I actually had even more connects, have 30 plus connects. I had more of a description in my bio. I even had a voice cover to actually show who I am and represent who I am and how I sound. I had post reviews. I had more search experiences, and overall, my LinkedIn was more optimized. And so that was actually very fascinating to me because when people look me up or future employers look me up, I'll have a very professional profile to share with them. I also wanted to share today my my something I really appreciated in this internship, which was my live interview experience here at ByHeart Group. Since we were working on LinkedIn, we actually had to connect because with other people because at first when Dr. I told us that we had to interview someone live within our field of interest, I was actually very overwhelmed because I had no idea how to do it, how to start it. But Dr. I, with her amazing energy, she actually guided me, and so I actually was able to do it. So this summer, I actually had the opportunity to interview Emily Burnett. She is actually a co-designer intern here at ByHeart Group. She's an inspiring aerospace engineer, such as myself. I actually want to be an aerospace engineer in the future. So interviewing her was actually very great for me because it gave me very good feedback and it actually helped me acknowledge and know why she chose aerospace engineer. Since this interview was my second time going live, since I had gone live before with Dr. I actually felt a little bit more comfortable and I enjoyed talking to Emily. So that actually encouraged me to interview someone else, that being Brianna Mercado. Brianna Mercado is also an advocate of aerospace engineer. She's currently studying at California Institute of Technology, and she actually wants to work in sustainable energy projects in order to help the environment. This time out, since it was my third time live, I felt like I had more control of my voice. I felt a lot more confident, and I just had fun with Brianna. And so that actually has encouraged me to even create my own podcast. It's called Drippy Pod Pro if you guys want to go check it out. But I really enjoyed going live. And so the idea that I was actually more confident in myself has really I pushed myself to actually see my improvements in what this internship has done. So overall, in this internship, I learned how to get out of my comfort zone by actually going live for the very first time, as you can see here with my fellow interns and Dr. I learned how to be proactive. As you can see, I learned how to create networking skills. I learned how to create a lot more skills that were essentially would be useful for me in my future and my future career. I even learned how to send professional emails and email signatures. Overall, these skills that I learned from this internship will always help me throughout my entire career and my future. That's it for me today. Thank you for listening to my presentation. I'm gonna pass it down to my fellow intern, Mia Alvarez.
Okay, I'll screen share right now. Okay, let me screen share. Hi, my name is Mia Alvarez, and I'm here to talk about my experience as a digital marketing intern. So, some of the things I've learned from this internship mostly is being able to use different types of social media platforms and seeing how they can be used the same way search engines are used to find information, the same way we use Google. And so I also learned about how I can make new connections through social media, with people like I might not have expected to make connections with. And I also was able to learn more about the consumer side of social media and the content creating side of social media and what the differences are. And some of the new things that I've tried from this internship is being able to work on my image and how others perceive me through social media and how it affects the way people will see me. And I've also been able to make new connections through a social media platform that I haven't really had experience with before, which is LinkedIn. And I've also, with this internship, I've been able to create my own content as well by conducting my own live stream interview. So going down, just to show my LinkedIn page before, and this is what it looks like after. With working with LinkedIn, I was able to learn so many new aspects that actually changed how people saw my profile and how they perceive me. So as you could see in my before picture, I had like no background banner. The heading, like the bio, wasn't really that good. I didn't put in any of my experience or anything. And as you can see, I had two people that only viewed my profile because it was just very basic and just unappealing. But once I worked with Dr. I, she was able to help us make our LinkedIn profiles look a lot better, which has helped a lot. So in my after pictures, I have a better bio, I have my experience put down, and I have background banner. And with just only those things, my profile views went up and my search appearances went up, which is amazing. And with this, I've been able to look at how so many little details can go into how your appearance is shown to others. And so I did a live stream interview on YouTube with Erica Lezama. Erica Lezama is a civil litigation attorney. And so when doing this interview with Erica, I learned a lot about her and her journey into becoming an attorney, which is something that I'm interested in the future. And so throughout this interview, I was able to learn Erica's inspiration of becoming an attorney, of how she wanted to help her parents who weren't originally from this country, and how she genuinely just wanted to help people that needed help. And so she also talked to me about her good experiences and her bad experiences of going through law school and how self-care and just really focusing on herself really helped her through her journey of law school and helped her get through that. And so overall, learning how to create my own content showed me how powerful social media can be based on the type of content that you do produce. And when creating content for social media, it is easier said than done. And there are so many details that can affect the way that your content comes out. And thank you for listening to my presentation. I'm now going to pass it on to Diana.
Okay, good morning, everyone. My name is Diana Naranjo, and I'm a rising senior at Downey High School. And I just wanted to thank June and the Bayer Group and the school district for making this opportunity possible. And a huge shout out to Dr. I, because I learned so much about really entering and preparing the professional world as we exit high school and go into college and start our careers. So a huge thing that Dr. I taught us is that our world is no longer a tell me economy, but it's more of a show me economy. So if I just sat here and told you, well, I created a LinkedIn profile, I live stream with someone, and I learned how to do an email signature. Like, I don't think you would believe me because I don't have like real evidence. So I'll show you. Here's my LinkedIn profile. Before it was super bland, uninteresting, and it was like those carrots at school where you would grab them during lunch, but you wouldn't eat them because they were kind of gross. But after, here is my cover picture, my headshot. I have a headline, and then I have oh, I have like these hashtags because I have my creator mode on, and that really upped my search appearances. And I also included my resume and a little about me section so people can know why do I want to be an OBGYN. And my profile after looks like those juicy apples that you've been craving like the entire morning and you finally got them during lunch. So I'm super happy about my LinkedIn profile. And of course, as everyone else, we had to do a live stream with a professional in our aspiring fields. So Dr. I created this little formula where we would introduce ourselves, and then we would say, I would love to connect. And most of the time people do respond and say, well, I'm happy to connect. But of course, sometimes you get those like ignores, but it's fine. So this was actually one of my conversations with someone that I connected on with LinkedIn. And I'm actually going to interview her and her sister, who they're both twin doctors. One is an OBGYN and another is a cancer research scientist. And I'm going to interview them this weekend. And along with networking, you also have to have an email signature because when you send those emails, you want to seem professional and like really serious about why you're emailing this person and why they should take time out of their busy days to email like a high school student. So an email signature like this, even though it's like super basic, just having something simple like this would really make you look professional. So now I did a live streaming interview with Dr. Perkins Gordon, and as all the other interns, we did do a live stream with Dr. I. And I feel like with Dr. I was kind of in between the comfort and the fear zone where I was nervous for the live stream, but I knew I would be with Dr. I and the other interns, and we would like kind of have each other's back. But with like live streaming just by myself with someone else, I was like, oh, I have to like control where this goes. And I was super nervous, like I could not relax the whole day. But after, I was entering like the learning and the growth zone. And this was one of Dr. I's huge goals where we would get out of our comfort zone and really enter the growth zone. And I feel like I really accomplished that because normally I would just do one live stream because it was required. But now I'm actually going to do another with the twin doctors this weekend. And my live stream was with Dr. Perkins Gordon, who I networked with through Instagram. And she is an OBGYN who immigrated from Jamaica. And she was just really inspiring because I've always wanted to be an OBGYN since I was like super young. But over the years, I've gotten like huge doubts because it's a crazy schedule. It's a ton of school. And I always pictured college and med school and even like the career to be super isolating where your whole life was work, work, work. But once I interviewed with her, she kind of eased my doubts and she said, even if it was just for 2 days, she would go back to Jamaica and then come back Monday morning and go straight to class. She said that you really have to take advantage of the free days that you have because that's when you need to de-stress and really make memories and then go back to work. And then she said that she went into med school with an open mind and she actually chose OBGYN on the last rotation. So it was super last minute. She had no idea what she would do for as a specialty. So that kind of also eased my doubts because like what if I go into med school and then I don't like being an OBGYN. Like it's okay to look into other specialties and I can choose which one I'm more comfortable with. So live streaming with her really eased my doubts again about being an OBGYN, and now I'm super confident that I can be one. So obviously, my biggest surprise of this internship was working with these amazing interns because I thought I would just go to a random Zoom like 3 times a week and then do something and then leave. But I actually interacted with everyone and everyone was super nice. And then we did a lot of teamwork and I really liked going to the Zooms. It was super interesting and I had a lot of fun. So yeah, I'm super happy that we made connections and hopefully we stay connected throughout the years and see what our careers turn out to. And again, Dr. I don't think she said this exactly, but she said, like, again, that we're not in a tell me economy, we're in a show me economy, and you must show them your skills and experience by having evidence because that way you seem more credible and people will want to hire and work with you. So I just want to say thank you for listening and thank you for this amazing opportunity. And now our last presenter is Catherine.
Thank you, Diana. And yes, I am the last presenter. And I too was part of the digital marketing internship, but let me share my screen first. So, oh, there we go. So I too had very, very, very similar experiences with the internship. So I went into it actually hoping for a challenge and hoping to get out of my comfort zone. I honestly didn't really understand what I was going to do. I didn't really know what was in store for me. Before this internship, I kind of looked at social media as an app that was used to share like important little updates with friends and family. I never thought, especially at this age, that it could be a really powerful tool, especially for things like strengthening my network and my reputation. So one really important part of the internship was creating an appealing LinkedIn profile. So I went from thinking that LinkedIn was something for huge CEOs. I've heard about it before, but I genuinely thought it was only for big time CEOs. And I never really realized how vital it could be. When used correctly. Still, when I initially created the profile, I had nothing. I had absolutely nothing on it. I didn't even have a photo, just my name. And I actually turned it into this, which I am really proud of. I added a bunch of hashtags due to creator mode, like a lot of my fellow interns. I decorated the back, I added my photo, and I even added things like my resume and my live stream, which I'll get into a little bit later. I added my education, certifications, volunteer experience, just things that will help me and show me and the best me online. So yeah, I even added my accomplishments and my interests. So when we began to start live streaming, just like a lot of the other interns, I was really nervous. I was really worried. I can't do that. I don't know how I'm gonna do this. It was really foreign to me and I couldn't picture myself doing it. But when we did the first live stream with Dr. I actually eased into it. And after like a few minutes, I had fun. And after I was talking to a fellow intern and I was like, I actually had so much fun and it was actually enjoyable. I actually really liked doing it. So I realized that, maybe this is something that I can do. And I was a lot less nervous. But when we started to talk about how we're going to do a personal one with the one-on-one, I did get a little nervous. I was a little worried. Because it's, a lot more pressure with one person. So when I was working to actually get somebody to interview. Of course, like the other one interns mentioned, I had to create a signature for my emails, and I also learned how to send invites. And I have never heard of that, but I think that that's really, really important. And I think it also just shows people how structured I am and I'm organized, and it just gives myself a sense of like understanding, and it shows them that I know what I'm doing. So when I went live, I also created this thumbnail on Canva, and I had a little bit of experience with Canva, but nothing like this. I created this, and I'm actually pretty proud of it. It came out really nice. Women in STEM is something that I've always been really, really, really passionate about, especially because I've known that I wanted to be an engineer for a really long time, actually. And so this is like something I hope I can keep going. I had the honor to interview Angela, actually, and she wants to be a software engineer. And I was really, really nervous, but it went really well. She made me feel really comfortable, and it felt like we were just having a one-on-one conversation. It just felt like we were just talking about what we like and what we want to see in the path, the career, like what we want to see more women. And it was just more about her story, which was really, really, really nice to hear. She's really smart. And yeah, it was a little bit out of my comfort zone, but again, once I started talking, once we started getting into it, it was really nice. And we went back and forth a little bit after, like, wow, it went really well. So it was really good. So the top 3 takeaways that I have from this internship is number 1, confidence. I feel like coming into it, I was always scared to tell people my accomplishments or to even just put myself out there online. I just didn't really know how to, and I was kind of nervous. But I think that I'm definitely still working on it, but it's something that I have really, really improved. My second one is formality. So just putting myself out there professionally, leaving good first impressions, like with my LinkedIn account or maybe my emails or whatever it is that I'm putting out online. And number 3 is networking. I feel like, I've always heard, networking is important, And I never really like understood that. And I think this was my first real experience with networking where it was like, okay, it's like a little bite into what I'm gonna be doing hopefully later on. So that was really important. And I think that is all. I think we're gonna open up for questions right now. So yes.
Yeah, thank you, Catherine. Thank you so much, everyone, for the presentations. I really enjoyed it. I really love how so many of you are so inspired that you are launching your own live streaming show. So please do keep me posted. So now we're opening the floor to Q&A. And we have some industry professionals joining us live through Zoom. And we also have some people watching us live on YouTube channel. And please ask your questions. And June, I don't know, do you want to say something?
Sure. First of all, I want to congratulate all the interns because this was a huge accomplishment. I have to say that what you shared, I can also identify with because I've also been a student of Dr. I's, and we do have a live stream show at Bea Group that we do run every week. This last month has been intern takeover. So it's co-design work with Wonder. And I just wanted to say she pushed my own comfort zone. Something that as CEO that I'm always proud of is I wouldn't ask you to do something I haven't done myself. It's something that I take very seriously. So I definitely empathize with all of you when you said it was scary. The first time I went live with her was similar to what she did with all of you, which was I went live on her show. And each time it got a little bit easier, and each time it felt more comfortable. And so this is something that congratulations to all of you for pushing that comfort zone. I love the visual you shared about the colors from the red to the green. So I would say you're in the green. Woohoo! And so congratulations for that. Just knowing what you are capable of. If that's something we could just say that's an intention of this internship, that is the biggest for you all to say, this is something that we're calling workplace intelligence, because it's not soft skills. Soft skills does not do justice to what you've accomplished. We're calling it WQ, workplace intelligence. So some of the quotes that I got from you is, it's okay to be ignored, rejection. That is workplace intelligence. You have now comfort in live streaming, and we're pushing everybody's comfort zone the next few days with regard to this live streaming. You've had the benefit of having practice, so you're trailblazers. And with the rest of our interns in our, just so everybody watching knows, we've had 13 different deep dives in this. So digital marketing is one of 13. Our next one is going to be design thinking at 11:30. And as I mentioned, we have CRISPR today at 2 o'clock. So a plug in to please come back to YouTube at Bea Group, and we have more live stream coming up. And I also noticed in terms of workplace intelligence, it also talked about leveraging social media and content creation and how you've connected with professionals. Demystifying, one of the other goals of this internship is to demystify what it is to work. Even though we've been in virtual environments, and you have been in school virtually for a very long time. So we appreciate that you stuck with us and that you took this leap of faith, because it was a lot of Zoom, and we know that sometimes it was a lot. And so you stuck with it. So another congratulations for sticking with it. So the other part I wanted to mention was going outside your comfort zone. The magic happens. Communication mastery. We had coaching about what it means to just slow down in your talking. So also, did you all notice you were listening, you were paying attention? It was so amazing from our practice session to where we are now. So I wanted to also acknowledge how much work you put into each of these, because it really made a difference. The other part is leaving a good impression professionally, and your LinkedIn profiles. You all are different from your peers. There are very few people in your age group who have LinkedIn profiles. So I just also want to acknowledge that when you're applying to college, when you are applying for your next job, this is something that's going to help you stand out. The fact that you have work experience, and I've said time and again, please use us as a reference. Please use us for letters of recommendation. So with that, I just wanted to congratulate all of you. John, if you want to say something, and then I'm going to turn it over to questions.
Just a really quick congratulations to each and every one of you interns that have presented today on what you've learned in the last 6 weeks. You are a very, very impressive group and have already accumulated a good measure of competitive edge when it comes to entering the workforce, or whatever it is that you choose to do in your senior year, as well as after high school. And I do want to say a huge thank you. Thank you is not enough for Dr. I and the guidance that she's provided in this deep dive. The access to Dr. I through this program is just absolutely amazing. I think each and every one of our interns in this deep dive could attest to the fact that this was just an amazing experience in terms of learning things that you probably would not have learned anywhere else. So my hat's off to you, Dr. I, and all that you have provided to our students. As I've said in the past, it will make a difference long into the future. When they're 30 years old, they'll remember some things that they learned from Dr. I in this 6-week experience. So thank you so much.
Oh, thank you so much. That makes me speechless. So the honor is all mine. Thank you so much, John, for this great opportunity. And thank you, June. I really enjoy this. And it's such a great honor to work with my amazing interns. I love each of them. So should we do Q&A?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, please. Yes, and I also want to do a shout out to Lance for being here. Thank you so much. Arseni, do you want to say something?
Yes, I invited Lance because I think that he was a great part of my growth zone. He was the one who encouraged me to ask some questions on our interview, and also discuss with me how he works as an entrepreneur in this digital marketing, and changing from the physical items only to also the online system, which is kind of a big change, but he did it, and I feel really connected to him for that.
Yeah, is Lance still here? Like, do you want to say
Yes.
something? Lance?
Yes.
Oh, yeah,
We're
you're
gonna put you
still
on the
here, Lance.
spot.
Do you want to say something, Lance?
Oh,
or
yeah, sorry. I realized I was muted. Yeah, no, it was a great experience. When I started my business back in 1976, a few years later, I had an intern through a traineeship. A young lady came and she worked for me as well as did, learning at TAFE, Technical and Further Education. So I realised the benefits of this. That's going back. There was no internet back then. But anyway, congratulations to everyone. I've learned a lot just being here today. All the best.
And Lance is actually based in Australia. So we literally have a global like audience now. So which is really fantastic. I think that is, again, I want everyone to realize the power of social media, digital networking. We can connect with amazing practitioners as like Lance from a different country, right? So yeah. Do you have any questions, Lance, or anyone on the YouTube channel watching us live or here in this Zoom room? Any questions for our amazing interns? If you don't have a question, I have a question, but yeah.
I'll just quickly say that I will be posting this through my network on Twitter and LinkedIn in the next few hours.
Thank you so much. You are our biggest supporter. Really appreciate. Okay, so like as everyone is thinking about the question you want to ask, I don't know if we have some question coming up on our YouTube channel, but I do have a question for all the interns. And quite a few of you mentioned that, before we got started, you were camera shy and very like intimidated, just think about that you have to go live. And now only a few weeks later, and quite a few of you already mentioned that you are going to start your live streaming show, which is very impressive. So if you can reflect on this experience, what are some of the biggest changes that you have observed in yourself? Remembering like day one, when you were doing the onboarding to where you are now, we are the very first group to present in a live streaming platform, and we have people from like other countries watch us. So what are some big changes that you have observed in yourself that you can share with us, just even on a daily basis?
I could share something. I just know that before I started this internship, I honestly, with the knowledge I had before, I wouldn't be here right now. And talking and confidently speaking to all these people and actually interviewing other people and going live and actually being encouraged to even start my own podcast, I could see that I really improved in myself. I really improved to have self-confidence and actually develop skills that will help me in the future and actually be more calm when I speak than nervous.
I'm in the same boat as Philip with the self-confidence category, because ever since like that first time live streaming with Dr. Like Dr. I can tell you, I was probably one of the people in the chat, like in the private chat, that was all like, oh, I'm so nervous. Like it was the transition from the very first live stream to hosting my own live stream on Instagram was mainly because of the self-confidence I gained through repeatedly interviewing and also preparing beforehand for the interviews. And yeah, so I'd like to thank Dr. Eifert. Thank you.
Yeah, I still remember. I saved my screenshot. I'm like, you were like, I'm so nervous. I'm going live. Dr. what should I do? I saved all the text. So to one day to show you, how much you have come. Yeah, I love it. Congratulations. Yeah, thanks for sharing. And it's so vulnerable to share those moments, right, in public and on live streaming platforms. So that is another, example to show you all of you how much more confidence that you all have gained. Yeah. Anyone else wants to share or questions?
For me, I realized something different is I actually really like to create. I didn't know I like to do that. I didn't know I like to do these things because I never knew how to do it correctly and knew that anything about it. So Dr. I really pushed us to create and put things on our LinkedIn, like how to make good posts and stuff like that. So I want to say thank you to Dr. I for that. And she also made us really confident. And she would always just tell us that it's okay to mess up sometimes, but that it's all just part of the journey and it's just like building up to it. So I think it's the self-confidence that I realized that I have more, and also that liking what I'm doing right now. That's also just pushing me to keep on going. So yeah.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, I think that's kind of what you mentioned, like another goal is for all of you realize how much potential you actually have that you didn't even realize you are actually so good at this. So I'm so glad that you discovered that, April. Yeah. Congratulations. I can't wait to check out your podcast. Yeah. Anyone else wants to share? If not, I do. Oh, okay, go ahead. Did I cut
Sorry,
off?
I agree with what April said. I think before I was so afraid of being rejected, and I was so afraid of people telling me no, and I was afraid that people were going to tell me that I wasn't like enough or this and that. And so I always held back before. I wouldn't speak. I wouldn't put myself out there because I was like, well, these people are better than me. These people do this. And I think that through this, of course, I still have to work on it. It's not perfect, but I feel like I'm more willing to put myself out there, and I'm more willing to be proud of what I've done and what I will do.
Oh, so good. Yeah, I still remember. And I wish I had an internship like this, as I said so many times. And just like rejection is hard. And I got my very first rejection after I started working, and that was hard. I wish I experienced rejection when I was younger. And it was like the first time I got rejected, I was like crying in the bathroom. It was really bad. So yeah, so I'm glad that you all could have a chance to experience this and build your emotional resilience, right? And right now you are a lot more emotional resilient than before. So I really love that.
Yeah, that's huge. That's a huge takeaway is what you shared, all of you shared. And those are components of building upon just knowing that feeling of I got this, and building on that you are enough, and what you're doing is really about being true to you. And it's not really about what others are thinking. You can't necessarily control what others think, but I loved also how you were talking about how you can control how others perceive you with regard to your LinkedIn profile, how you choose to show up to different experiences. So do you want to say a little bit more about what that means with regard to your own sense of ownership of your how people perceive you? We've also learned that I might just call on people. Diana, you mentioned this a little bit. Would you be willing to share about that some more?
Yeah, so I think that controlling how others perceive you is really important, especially in a professional environment, because you want to seem really serious, like I said, about having an email signature. Even having a simple one like mine really shows that you're super serious about whatever you're emailing this person about and how you really want to work with them. So same with like LinkedIn, having like your little about section and being just really serious about the whole like LinkedIn profile, and then having your headline and your contact info so anyone can reach out to you. I think having all of those little aspects and then just again taking it super seriously, because this could really help you out with building your career and your connections. And I just think that controlling how others see you can really benefit you, especially in a professional environment.
Thanks, Diana. Does anyone else want to share?
So
Go ahead, April. Oh, go ahead. Could you go after April, Arseni? Is that okay? Go ahead, April.
Yeah, I just want to say something quick, like what Diana said, like the email signature, it's something so small. It's just at the end of the email, but it actually makes a big difference because like us, we're high school students, and I don't really think many high school students will have a signature, and that makes you look a lot more professional. So that's something that I realized will change a lot. So doing little things make a really big difference. So that's something I just wanted to add on. So
I
go
love how you
ahead.
paid attention to that. Sorry, Arseni, I'm just going to chime in really quick about, so everyone in the Bay Group Work Wonder internship did get an email. And we really made a point to talk about calendar invites and how to use your calendar to manage your time. And we realized that sometimes when you're an entry-level worker, people expect you to have these kinds of know-how. And it's something that maybe requires more explicit explanation. And so that's something we in the sense of onboarding that we did do during this internship. So I'm glad that you also have the email signatures. And so those details are pieces we put in along the way. And thanks for remembering that, April and Diana. So Arseni, thank you for your patience. Go for it.
So something that I wanted to add on to how we are perceived is also when we create content on social media. Something that a big takeaway that I have from this is that you need to be careful what you say and take into account who your viewers are. I had this way of doing things where when I wanted to get a point across the board, I did it how I liked the content to be expressed. However, I've come to realize that, hey, it's not me the one liking, sharing, and following these channels. So I started to think of my viewers more as my clients. Like, what do you want me to show you or give you in order to earn your follow and your like? So yeah, like how we are perceived can truly impact how many people either follow us or buy our product, aka our image on social media.
And also just being aware of how what you put out there publicly is always there. And so when employers do background checks, they are checking your social media, they are checking your content. And so to know that you, which is different than when I was growing up, there was no social media in that sense. There was very little in terms of the things that it just didn't happen, right? But now you have a lot more to pay attention to, and to know that what you put out there now, even at your age, will chances are follow you. And so just to be aware of that at your age is something hopefully that you took as part of this internship. Others?
Yeah, I agree, especially with LinkedIn. Like I said in my presentation, it's the first thing that they see. So if you are like really putting effort in it and you show that you're really willing to work or just willing to work really hard in any aspect, like that's obviously going to be the first thing that they see. And just to touch upon what Arseni said a little bit, when we talked about how to make posts on social media versus like school writing, I was telling Dr. I, like, I think that was like really weird for me because I'm used to writing huge paragraphs. Like I'm used to like, like making everything, the commas. And she's like, no, like, she's like, they have to be really short. They have to be to the point. They have to be like, add emojis and make people like want to read it. And I was like, oh, okay. So it did take a little while, but it's just like little things like that.
Catherine, I had to learn that from her also. I did not speak emoji before I met Dr. I. I didn't even know where to find emojis. I had to Google it and be like, where are emojis? So yes, I've learned a lot from Dr. I as well. Are there others who want to share before we wrap up?
If no one else to share, can I ask another quick question, Jim? Yeah, and now this internship is over. So I want to ask each of you, what are some skills that you have learned from this internship that you will carry on to your future, college or your last year in high school or your internship, future professional careers? I'm curious.
I'd say skills that I have developed throughout this internship that will truly impact me on my chances of getting in college would be my interview skills and my communication skills. I used to get literally shaking when I was talking to a stranger because it was just another world for me. However, now I can go live and talk to multiple people at once without even getting nervous most of the times. So when I speak to my college interview people, I will be able to get my point across the board and make them more likely to accept me into their college.
Yes, I also like to add what Arsene said. Other than like communication skills, I also learned that I think I would and most likely take it with me in my future is also digital networking skills and actually connecting with other people, because keeping like one thing is like connecting with people and one thing is keep connecting with other people, and my goal is to keep connecting through LinkedIn, to reach out to people, to meet new people, to talk to new people. I think that's a skill that I'm really going to develop more and more as I go on in my career.
Yeah, adding on to that, I think another skill that I've gained through like Dr. I's guidance and like just like the whole internship as a whole is just like asking questions and not being afraid for like getting a rejection, because like I feel like with the whole LinkedIn interview, it was really like nerve-wracking at first to reach out to people and then like get a rejection. But like I feel like after a couple rejections, it just becomes like, oh, you just brush it off your shoulder like it's nothing. I mean, asking questions and not being afraid to go out there and like explore your passion and explore what you're curious in is just something that like has really inspired me in this internship.
Yeah, I think being confident in my decisions, even if they're out of my comfort zone, like I was so nervous going into interviews, but I like now know that I got this and it's gonna go well. So I'm definitely gonna stop doubting myself because before I would constantly be doubting myself, like, oh, a lot of people don't do this, like you never do this, so why are you gonna do it? So definitely I will stop doubting myself as much as I used to.
Everything that everyone says, all the skills I feel like I have gained or been better at, but I also want to say that all those skills I feel will really help me in a lot of aspects in the future, like just school, when learning how to present something, my work the right way, or even like showing someone that I want to work for in the future as well. So, or college as well. So all these things are just gonna help with so many things.
How about Tom? I'm gonna have you each share. Gonna call on you.
A skill. Well, I mean, they basically listed all the skills that I thought were like the key skills I think would help in my future endeavors. But I guess I'll add on that public speaking, like right now. I used to be, like I mentioned earlier, I used to be very nervous before major presentations or basically just speaking in front of people. But now I kind of have like a ritual before doing like going live and stuff. Like um so like I shake all my nerves out and like I just like feel very calm. And then the more I speak, the more calm I feel. So I think this is all thanks to Dr. I and live streaming and continually to live stream. So yeah.
Thanks, Tom. I'm gonna put Diana on the spot next.
One big skill that everyone already mentioned, but it's taking rejections with like a grain of salt, because well, I was always like super scared of rejection because it's just like it's super scary, because then what are you gonna do? But with networking with a bunch of strangers, it's like most of the time they're gonna ignore it, or they're just gonna say, oh, I can't, I'm super busy. Because I reached out to a lot of doctors and they're of course super busy with their schedules. So just taking that rejection and just making it motivate you to reach out to even more people, and then just waiting for like that yes is one skill that I'm definitely going to take with me throughout my entire life. So just thank you, Dr. I.
I always say you only need one yes. I always go, remember J.K. Rowling, who wrote Harry Potter, how many rejections? I always go, well, can you imagine who rejected her? And then she only needed one yes. So just keep that in mind. There was a lot of rejections before the one yes. So Catherine, are you ready?
Yeah, I'm ready. I completely agree with all the other interns. I think those are like really important. I think one thing, I actually, I didn't specifically tell you this, but Dr. I is so organized. Like after every meeting, there is so much stuff that she gives us. Honestly, it's a lot of stuff, and it's so nice. I feel like it was so much easier to stay on top of my work because she put the video, and then there was a summary, and then there was links, and then I think I just got, that's one, I'm trying to think of something a little bit different. So that was one thing. I'm going to try to like keep myself like grounded and keep myself ahead.
Oh, thank you so much. I tried not to cry, but thank you so much, Catherine. Yeah, I love giving guys those minutes, updates. I'm so happy that it's helpful, and I try to stay organized. Yeah, thank you, April, as well.
You are so organized. Mia, are you in a position to go next?
Yes. Throughout this internship, I feel like Dr. I has honestly helped me personally so much. And I really do appreciate her a lot, because throughout this internship, I've learned more about communication and being able to go live, being confident about going live, and being able to work on my appearance and my social media profiles and how I look through them. And now I think live streaming has become more of a comfortable thing for me to do, because I agree with the other interns when I would say like there are times where I can be very camera shy, and I just think another skill would be just communication and just confidence, and also organization as well, and just being able to organize just my work in general, and being able to produce great content, which is amazing.
Thanks, Mia. Elliot, how about for you? What's your takeaway?
I can't really add on a lot more to what everyone else has already said, but for me, I think the most useful part is sending an email professionally, because I see that being a big form of communication in a workplace or even just school, asking counselors about anything that you want to do. And I think that'll definitely help me in my future endeavors.
Thanks, Elliot. Andrea, how about for you?
Well, I definitely agree with what everyone said. I think what everyone said, I also grew in. And yeah, what like Diana and Adrian had all said, I think I used to be really scared of rejection too. And I was scared to put myself out there, and I felt like I always needed more confidence. But something that Dr. I remember one time told us that also really stuck to me was that at the end of the day, the only person who's gonna advertise for you is yourself. So I feel like that really inspired me, and I have to make myself seem professional, and I have to really put myself out there and my best foot forward, because at the end of the day, it's me who's gonna be advertising for myself. And that's something that I really just am gonna carry with me from this interview.
That's really huge, Andrea. Thank you for that. It's important. That was a lesson for me that took me a while to learn, which is I have to be able to advocate for myself before I can advocate for others. So definitely advocate for yourself. That's huge. Is there anyone else who I missed or has any other final thoughts?
I'm going to jump in here as an old codger here, just to share. I wasn't very good at public speaking when I was younger, but as I progressed in my career in the international trade, I got involved in some training, and then I had to present for a national audience, 47 seminars. And I was trying to hire a speaker to do that. I couldn't get one. And the Australian Tax Office that I was performing this for, they said, you can do it yourself. And I'm not an expert, but I was able to share the stuff that I could understand in a simple way, because I didn't know all the jargon that the experts were using. And people came up to me in different parts of Australia and said, oh, you made sense, because I've gone to all these other ones and they're talking up here and I don't understand them, but you were able to talk in simple terms that I could understand. So you don't have to be the best person in the world to be a good communicator.
That is so powerful. Thanks for sharing, Lance. Yeah, for sure.
Thanks, everyone. So I just wanted to thank everyone for joining us live today. And just wanted to, again, put a plug for our next live stream, which is at 11:30. So those of you who are here with us today, please join us on YouTube. So it's youtube.com/Bea Group. And we are so excited to have our design thinking deep dive interns share today. And then again, we're back at 2 o'clock with CRISPR, which is technology about genetic, just all the stuff that's happening with all the genetic research that's happening in the world. So that's our next ones. And so thank you, Dr. I, thank you, John, thank you, Lance, thank you all of the interns for the digital marketing group at Downey Unified. I wanted to thanks everyone for watching and everyone watching after this live stream. So thanks everyone, and we will see you at the next one. Bye everyone. Thank you.